So obviously, Harry, they had words, and now they go to work.
Now to Hull, breaking it all along. He shoots, he scores! Brett Hull ties it at 2.
Oh, baby, Kelly Chase, does he give it, and they love it.
Into the hot zone to Hull. Shoots, he scores! Brett Hull!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ice Guardians podcast with my pal, Kelly Chase, and our good friend, Wendell Clark, mainstay with the Toronto Maple Leafs for many a year, one of the most powerful power forwards after a long, young career as a defenseman, joins us here in the Wendell's World Studio, presented by Siteman Cancer Center. Welcome, Wendell.
Hey, great to be here. It's a road game for me. I'm here in St. Louis. I don't know. Maybe I should have my helmet on lock here because it's the old Chuck Norris Division in the 80s.
Yeah, I love it. And that you can go back and say, hey, add one more game that I was at.
Yeah.
You know, Hully, you brought up something. You said came in as a young defenseman, and then he never played. You have one game as
I played one exhibition game half as a defenseman, but I got to training camp forward, left wing with Courtnall and Lehman in training camp. That's how I found out that I was turned forward.
Well, did you tell Rusty to slow down a little? Hey, buddy,
I'll meet you up
especially in the skating drills. It's like, we always used to have to skate in lines, right? And it'd be like, hey, Rusty, you just right off my back right hip, buddy boy.
Not too quick.
That's right.
Well, Russ got a little bit of a complex because he had myself playing, ex-defenseman playing, and Gary Lehman, who played junior his whole life as well as a defenseman.
Get
so he
outta
says,
here.
they put me with two defensemen. Does that mean I don't play in my end at all?
Well, it's true.
That's true.
As it turned out, you both got 40.
Yeah, we both got 40. Nobody played in our own end.
Okay, who was the coach that decided they saw something and put you up front?
Well, it was actually at a meeting after the old general manager, Jerry McNamara, actually just passed away this year. He said when he scouted me playing, nobody knew, not even our staff, that I was going to put you forward if we drafted you. And I didn't tell anybody because nobody would have said, because all of my interviews, whether it be with Pittsburgh or Jersey or Vancouver, I would have been a defenseman. That's because in Pittsburgh, when Craig Simpson went there, number 2, they were looking for the next, because they had Mario, so they're looking for a defenseman. That's when, a year or two later, that's when they traded for Coffey.
Right.
So they were trying to build their team that way, so I'd have been a defenseman had I been drafted anywhere else.
So the GM was actually an intelligent GM, which were few and far between back in the day.
Well, he seen something that he wanted, and I guess I didn't argue with it. Back then, we didn't walk in with 4 or 5 agents, and
That's right.
What happens? You just kind of showed up with your equipment and went to camp.
I remember when I got drafted by Calgary, I was supposed to go because I had won. It was after my first year pro, and I had won Rookie of the Year in the AHL, and I was supposed to go to the NHL awards banquet, and someone in Calgary screwed up my flight, and I ended up in Buffalo at the slow pitch tournament, and Calgary's calling me, and I'm like,
somebody messed up.
I don't know what's going on. It's not my fault.
And I'm batting 4th, so I'm not leaving.
Batting 4th at night.
Oh, you usually try to get in on a leadoff at the night.
Yeah. Well, Wendell, I remember that year so well because obviously your brother was coaching us in Humboldt as well, and all of the games we were together for Saskatoon, Humboldt being that close, and I remember thinking, man, he's like, you'd get into it every night, a goal, a mix-up, something, and then you and Marty had a pretty good couple of tilts in Edmonton, and you kind of gave it to Marty.
One of the last ones was
the conference finals.
In 92, 93. Then I had a couple with him when I was with the Islanders in the mid-90s. But yeah, no, And that's what made it so big is because of the semifinals of the playoffs,
Right.
and all of a sudden everybody's watching, so then that becomes big.
Especially like all of Canada is
Yeah,
watching,
all-
because it doesn't matter from Vancouver
Atlantic to the
all the
other.
way to London, England. There's Toronto fans.
No, I've said 10 years later I got way smarter, and they go 10 years later. Well, he hit our best player, so then I stick up for our best player. If I was smart, because Wayne got like 9 points in the last 2 games, I should have just skated over the bench and hit him.
Right.
Because he did that to our best player. I might as well do that to theirs.
Right.
But that was Marty. We were already winning game one. It was going to be one. So he was basically setting a tone for his team. We're not out of this, and that's there. He wanted to cause something, and so he was doing his job, and he turned himself from the early days from a non-fighting guy into a player as well as a fighter.
Right.
He played some minutes.
Well, yeah, it's like, see, I'll never put you in that category with those guys because to me you were always a great player, but there was those guys like Bobby Probert. He scored 35
yeah.
with Spud and Yzerman.
Stevie, yeah.
And then like you said, Marty turned himself into a player. Then there was Simon, and there was guys who could.
They knew where to go. Like they could think
Right.
with the best player good enough to be in the right spot so the guys could find them.
Yeah, and then they also, when they were there, they were with guys like Simon, I think was with Adam Oates, who, the pillar in the corner could have scored if they played with him.
Yeah, no. And he started in
That doesn't
Quebec.
say much about me.
Simon was in Quebec when I got there, and now so he played wing with either Sakic or Forsberg.
Right.
It's not a bad little. Or down the line, when I got there, I said they had the best centerman ever. They had Forsberg, Sakic, Ricci, Deadmarsh,
Sundin.
and Sundin got traded. They had like six number one centermen down the middle.
That Deddy was a good
Yeah,
player,
he'd
wasn't
run
he?
around
And he was
and-
tough too.
yeah, he was a
He
guy-
was silent tough, kind of like Mike Keeney.
Yeah, just up out of Portland.
Absolutely. That's why I think those guys taught Brendan Morrow how to be the
Probably,
player
yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
But it's like, me and you talked earlier about, well, you played your first 2 years, 60 games, then 80 games, then all of a sudden you missed 220 not in a row, but 100 in a row, and then
240 game miss with knee injuries, yeah.
and then it just takes a toll on you for the rest of your career, and
It does, and coming back from injuries, when somebody ever gets an injury and they're out for 15 games, their season timing-wise, it's hard to get it back.
Absolutely.
Timing is, you might feel good, you're skating well, but you got to get timing back. That just doesn't happen.
the word confidence is underrated because when you lose it, you lose it. Because I remember losing it at the end of my career, and when I retired, I looked at Wayne in Phoenix, and I go, I'm done. I go, I get the puck, I don't know what to do with it, and I'm like, I'm not going to embarrass myself. Well, there's Blues with the first goal of the game. Looked like a weird bounce off someone.
They've been getting opportunities and laying around the front of that net early in the game so many times with that fourth line. Walker again. So talk about a guy that's been helpful in a fourth line role. I mean, he's
What
just on
happens
it
here?
constantly. I'm amazed how soft everyone is, though, when they run and have collisions behind the net.
Oh, scored on his own net. It was Nylander.
Oh, Willie whacked it out of the air.
Yeah, dude, like
High
he was having
sticking doesn't count.
a little game of pickleball there. He just kind of chinked it in.
Tell you, he can score either end.
Oh, then you know you're really good.
He's good. Knocking him in from everywhere.
I don't understand the white stick, but that's okay. Big fan of black tape.
No.
Yeah, that's one of those goals that it's hard to come back from that stuff.
Guys had such a big farm. And, of course, everyone worked for less, like we wanted.
Hold on, what's big?
Well, I don't know how many.
Talking to a city slicker here.
Well, it grew. It grew from
It grew from 1,000 acres to.
1,000 to 10,000 when he finished farming.
So
That's a lot of work. I read my dad had
I know, we even knew
750
Chase-
acres
we-
outside of Winnipeg.
Hey, as a kid, we knew Chaser was tough when we met him because he's the only young kid hired man that never quit.
Right.
The rest of us were kids for Dad, so we weren't allowed to quit.
Well, it's the greatest. It was the greatest. The greatest stories I listened to are you guys back home on the farm and what you had to do, and it's no wonder you're the type of people you are, because you not only had your parents, your probably parents after Kelly's dad passed probably gave him a licking once in a while if he didn't behave himself, and
Well, Les was hard on me, but he was good to me.
well, yeah, but hard and fair, that's like Brian Sutter. As a coach, he was hard and fair.
Well,
Yeah. You grew up in small communities and small, farms or even small communities, and you all played with different age groups growing up, whether it be kids or playing ball or hockey with the adults. And so I tell people, I never grew up with a curfew. My dad only said, I know what time you're getting up. So you're
Right.
getting up at 6.
Yeah.
What time you get home, because you could be playing as a 14-year-old, you might be playing for the men's fastball team. Right. So it's whenever that guy wants to bring you home, which might be 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
So you
got 4 hours.
I know what time you're getting up. and so he always, that was curfew. I just know what time you're going to work.
What did you farm? Wheat?
We were
Cattle?
grain and cattle.
Grain and cattle.
Until the 3 boys were away playing hockey. Then he switched to grain only so he could go and watch hockey.
Sure.
That was the
I bet
the
you he had
change.
a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, he did like just the whole junior hockey, and then he loved hockey so much he'd be walking into the Calgary Flames office. I wouldn't even be there. I said, "Can I get you tickets?" "Oh no, I just go up to the office and I get them." "We're not playing there." "Oh no, it's the Edmonton Calgary game. Doesn't matter. I'll just go up and talk to either Cliff Fletcher or Glenn Sather, and they'll."
Well,
he would weasel his way into all the buildings, go right up to the office, and
times have changed because my 2 daughters live in downtown Chicago, and my youngest Crosby called me the other day, and she goes, "Do you think you could get me some Blackhawks tickets for the 18th against, I think it's the Bruins," she said. And so I text Chelly, right? And Chelly goes, "Oh, I don't think so." He goes, "The Blackhawks took away our suite and our tickets this year." And I'm like, what? Like, you're a Hall of Famer. Probably could have, if they did it right, you're probably a Hall of Famer for 3 different teams, Montreal, Chicago, and Detroit.
Yeah.
I go, I'm a Hall of Famer, and my dad's jersey's in the rafter in Chicago, and I can't get my daughter 3 tickets in a 22,000-seat arena. I mean, this is, and back then, your dad's just going up to the office in Calgary and going, "Hey, can I get a couple tickets?" And they'd go, "Absolutely." My dad told me great stories about him playing against Eddie Feigner,
the
king in the court. And I actually have a picture on my phone. I'll show you when we're done. And it's
who has it? Who played against him?
my dad,
Oh, he did?
Robert Marvin, Bobby.
That's fun. That's just fun.
It was.
And
I think it's the only reason my first wife stayed with me as long as she did was because she loved those tournaments.
Yeah.
She'd just sit there and.
Well, that's not the only reason. There was 2 of us babysitting you then. Oh, please. I was getting a little run down myself. All right, we'll be right back. Close it up.
Now it's time for your Get Check moment of the game. And today we're talking about prostate cancer. Did you know that besides skin cancer, prostate cancer is the most common cancer among American men? But it's very treatable, especially with early detection. Fellas, please speak to your primary physician about knowing when to get your PSA test done. A simple blood test could save your life. Typically, it's recommended you get the first test done around the age of 50. But if your family has a history of other factors, you may opt to get it done as early as your 40s. It's a simple blood test, and that's it. And if you're in Missouri or the Illinois area, you can go to getscreenednow.com, or you type in your zip code and find a screening location near you. Or you visit siteman.washu.edu. We're coming to you from Window World Studios, Hully. And you know these guys, they're all about windows.
That's right, Chaser. Windows World of St. Louis doesn't just put in windows. They take care of people. Best service in the business, hands down.
And they'll do whatever it takes to make customers happy. And that's why fans around here trust Window World for their homes.
So if you need new windows, go with the teams that's willing to go the extra mile. Window World of St. Louis.
Window World of St. Louis, best in town, buddy.
Absolutely. Chaser, in all our years here in the St. Louis metro area, we have made a lot of great relationships. But one of our favorites and most reliable, John Eilerman from McBride Homes.
No question about it, buddy. I mean, I remember when Ben was my middle guy, was a preemie, and I was called out of a field I was hunting, and we were in the midst of selling our house. I couldn't believe this was happening 11 weeks early. Come charging back to St. Louis, and McBride Homes finds me a place to live as I'm in the middle of trying to search for a home. And I've had a relationship with them, and that was in 2000. And they've done nothing but take care of Blues players, coaches. I know Craig Berube, Coach Berube was one of them. And they've just been instrumental in the community. They're such giving people. It's always about charity. It's always about giving back. And that's the reason they say McBride Homes is everywhere you want to live.
Absolutely. And it goes without saying that they are one of the top companies in St. Louis.
100%.
Score big at Hippos Dispensaries with locations in Chesterfield, Columbia, and Springfield. Daily deals that keep your wallet in the game, top cannabis brands you know and trust, and bud tenders who feel like teammates. Hippos, your home rink for cannabis in Missouri. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Wendell
Welcome
Clark,
back.
Kelly
Welcome
Chase,
back.
Brett Hull. With our friends from McBride Homes in the back, having a good time. Is everyone having a good time back there? I hope so.
We're going to drag a camera and a mic back there.
Windows World Studios brought to you by Siteman Cancer Center. Wendel Clark, what do you think of the game so far you've been watching?
Well, it's kind of a back and forth. I'd like to say feeling each other out, but
No pace, Clarky.
no. Well, there's no, like, he got beat twice there before the shot.
I've seen that playing with Datsyuk.
Datsyuk.
But he would have stopped at 4. Golly.
Was he the most talented guy you guys ever played with?
Ever. There's, skill-wise, it's impossibly better than him.
Really?
Yeah, and as great as he was, obviously became a Hall of Famer, but could have, like I used to tell him, we could score every shift. Pavel, we can score every shift. You don't have to beat the guy 10 times in the corner, because at some point they're smart enough, they're just going to let you step on their stick, you fall down, and then they break out. I just beat him once and pass it to me wide open. We'll score every shift. And I would just stand in the slot and watch him.
I'll be over here when you're done.
And then go back to the left wing block when they trip you. But yeah, it's the scary. He used to do breakaways against Hasek after practice and demoralize the greatest goalie maybe ever. And then he'd play keep away with Chelios, and finally Cheli would just break his stick and take the puck away and go, ah. And Pavel would just go, what? What you do? It's like, yeah.
He had such good stand-up posture that he could always see and strong and skate, but it was always up, like he's sitting in a rocking chair, like he was in a strong, which is hard to do. I had to lean over. He had
never get tired.
No, just a strong.
He'd do box jumps that were like 5 feet high. I'd be like, what am I witnessing? The only other guy I thought was in shape like that was Yari Lettinen in Dallas.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Oh my God, some of the things he did sit-up-wise, I'm just like, what? Like I have to help myself off the couch.
He should have got stiffer cushions for that couch.
Listen, I forgot. It makes me laugh.
I didn't say do sit-ups. I said stiffer cushions. When I started, Boreas Salming, so he'd have been our best fit, probably Swedish athlete ever. Now he's 36 years old or something when I get there. But he, we'd do the VO2 test, and you hook you up to everything and oxygen and tell you to get ready to bike. They'd get, kids would all get him all hooked up, ready to go, and they'd say, go. And he'd take all the stuff off and walk out. I think I'm in good shape.
Yeah. So I tell you, and it goes different team to team, right? Like some take it so serious. And when I signed with Detroit, I'm nervous, because it's like I'm not the greatest trainer in the world. And so I'm up there, and they go, who wants to go first? I go, I'm going first. And I get on the thing, and it's like you're not even hooked up to anything. It's one of those, remember what the bike was it? And you just put it, they go, put it at 1,200 for 7 minutes, or 12 minutes. And I'm okay. And I'm sitting there talking to Chelly, drinking a coffee, doing this, and they go, oh, nice job. You had like a 68 VO2. And I'm like, I've never been over a 58 VO2 in my whole life. And now I'm like drinking a coffee. I go, maybe the coffee got my heart rate up.
Stimulant.
Yeah. Oh, my God. And somebody said, what's it like with Detroit? And I go, heaven. God.
Kenny Holland did a hell of a job of
Unreal.
just finding the players that were the Hall of Famers that were on their way, that wanted that one more starving. Because that's what made Detroit so competitive.
Pieces. You had such pieces for the right spot, and then your other guys, because you had Maltby, Kosher, Draper, like you had then the other end to complement this end, and it's the pieces he put together. Yeah. And the defense you had, and you took half. I hate to say it, but you ran through a lot of Leaf defense that
Absolutely.
went, and all of a sudden you put them in a good lineup and not play a number
booed every night for nothing.
play a 4-5 role instead of a 1-2 role because your one that you're playing with is number one in the league.
Scotty Bowman,
Rouse
and Giller and McCowan.
Yeah.
Well. Murphy.
Larry Murphy.
Yeah,
he wasn't good enough to play for us.
JJ Daniel, didn't he play for the Leafs?
Did JJ come through the Leafs too? After, or was that after
Daniel
Detroit?
played in Montreal, and then
Montreal, Canadian uniform.
But Scotty Bowman could pull the strings on every single guy without you ever knowing that he was doing it. It was genius.
Probably one of the best thinking man coaches. Like just,
still my favorite story is we're on the power play during the game, and I'm sitting in front of him, and he's yelling down to Smitty, and he's like, "Smitty, come here." And he's like, "Scotty, what? We're on the power play." He looks over and he goes, "Who's in my seats?" He goes, "I didn't give those people my seats. Who's in my seats?" And he goes, "How am I supposed to know?" He goes, "We're on the power play." And he goes, "I know. Tell them they got to move it quicker over this way and that." And he knew exactly what was going on while yelling at the people in his seats. It was like unbelievable.
Yeah, no, he had it. I remember in Detroit, first playoff run, we beat Anaheim out, and we had 2 5-on-3s, and Stevie scored both shot off the side. And I said, that's unbelievable. Like 2-5, that wasn't Scotty's play. He's not going to be happy.
Right.
Yeah, but I'll take it. You want to shoot at the net? I'm good with that.
Yeah.
You don't have to. No, that wasn't drawn up. I'm just glad I scored. But because Scotty had his, this is how we want it done.
Right.
And yeah, like it's.
See, and nobody knows the Fedorov deal when all of a sudden Fedorov was a defenseman.
And what was that? I remember it, but I can't.
He was so tired of him being terrible up front. He said, "Just screw it. I'm going to play him on defense, and he'll think that I'm just playing him back there because he's so great." And he was. They said that Fedorov would have won the Norris Trophy if he played the whole year back there. He was just crazy how talented Fedorov was too, and he wasn't even close to as good as Pavel, but he did use it better
On the move.
Yeah. And the nicest kid in the world.
Yep.
Actually, both of them, but I mean, I don't know if there's a nicer person than Sergei. He used to come to Chelly and I, and he'd, "Hey, you guys want to come play Formula One after practice?" And me and Chelly would go, "No, you want to come have a burger and a couple beers?" he goes, "No, I'm going home, play Formula One." He had a simulator in his house. And I'm like, I have no idea. I wouldn't want to go that fast in a simulator, let alone in real life.
Game's changing. The game's changing with your simulator, video games.
Yeah. Well, they were back then. I think Sergei was probably one of the top paid players.
Yes.
In the
right
league,
away, yes,
for sure.
He was.
But God, so good. And you know who that Red Wing team that got those guys? Kozlov, him, Larionov, Fedosov, Konstantinov. I'm like, just got them all. As soon as you got one, you could bring them all in because they all wanted to be They all wanted to be together.
Yeah.
And if there's not a place closer to Russia than Detroit, then I don't know what is. They felt like home.
Through New York on the way.
Kind of an ugly looking power play right here, Wendell.
Just no intensity in this game at all.
Like it is in slow-mo. Whoever invented this backwards pass, I just want to kill him.
It must be one guy because all 32 teams do it.
Yeah.
That's the only play now. If you changed it up, you'd skate straight in probably.
I always like to ask guys about if there were some rules in the game you'd like to change, what would they be? I've got my couple or three. How about you?
I'm always old school a little bit, and the old school is the original rule book. If you just called the original rule book, what a hit is a hit. I sometimes think the goalies are too protected. They got lines everywhere. They are not allowed to go here. Players can't go there. If you want to come out and play the puck in the wrong area, you're part of the game.
And that's me. I want to get rid of that whatever geometrical figure behind the net is, and I want to make the goalies have to handle the puck again. It also will protect the D, because I swear to God, I think one of them's going to get killed one day. These guys are so big and fast, chasing them down when it's not icing. Get the goalie out there, let him move the puck, changes the whole dynamic of the game, and then it opens up the the ability to make plays coming out of your own end instead of rimming it every time. Get rid of the giant shoulder pads.
They are coming down a bit, but yes, if you actually, in general, players learn to respect each other more, and when you learn to respect yourself. So if you take equipment off, so you look at rugby, zero equipment, you learn how to hit in certain ways because you know you can't do that, or I'm going to get hurt. So you learn when you can do it on angles and stuff. And in hockey, it'd be the same, and no insurance companies would ever allow this to happen. But you take stuff away, players learn that's going to hurt, so you respect yourself, so then you're respecting the other guy. Yeah. Like when we started, I want to say there was 11 guys with no helmets or something when I started in the 80s. Brad Marsh and
McTavish.
So if I'm playing and Brad Marsh doesn't have a helmet on, as I'm hitting him, I'm making sure he's fine. I'm hitting him, but he's got an open head. Now, if the guy's wearing a helmet, I purposely bang his head off the glass. See how I changed my game because he had a helmet? But
absolutely.
But I respected him more. He might get hurt.
That's why the kids run around with their sticks up in the air, because they got full shields on, masks,
guards, and nets.
Can't hurt them.
And so you lose respect for yourself because you feel invincible growing up.
Completely agree.
And some of the most violent hockey, because it's not in the NHL, is 14 and under. When they feel invincible and they're just hitting puberty and doing hitting at the same time, so they're just going straight lines.
Yeah, there's no I'm just going to kind of brush the side of them.
Because when I coached my son on the way up and they were hitting, and they said, well, they're doing hitting classes and stuff on teams. How come we don't do hitting? I said, the ones that will figure it out will do it, and the ones that won't, don't. I said, no, I don't want everybody do it. Everybody grows up thinking everybody was a hitter.
Right.
I said, there's only a couple guys in every team that did it on any age level growing up. But all the old guys think they all played tough.
Right. And the smart guys knew who they were, and the dumb guys didn't know who they were.
And so I said, I can't teach you how to take a hit unless you have your head up. Don't move the puck and get out of the way.
Eric Lindros.
But I can't tell you, if you don't have your head up, how to take a hit, because you have to look after yourself out there to a certain extent. Who's on the ice? Right. Recognize.
That's my biggest thing. We'll be back. First intermission brought to you by CarShield, protection that keeps you in the game and on the road. More with Wendell after the first intermission. Wow, nice hustle. The only time I get to see that much drive is when I feed my dog. Nugget loves every flavor of Diamond Naturals adult formula. Every time I fill her bowl, it's like a breakaway. I think she loves Diamond Naturals almost as much as she loves the Blues. They both come from Missouri. Maybe it's local pride. All I do know is to step away from the bowl come feeding time because she'll rough you up if you get in the way.
Now it's time for your Get Choice moment of the game. And today we're talking about prostate cancer. Did you know that besides skin cancer, prostate cancer is the most common cancer among American men? But it's very treatable, especially with early detection. Fellas, please speak to your primary physician about knowing when to get your PSA test done. A simple blood test could save your life. Typically, it's recommended you get the first test done around the age of 50. But if your family has a history of other factors, you may opt to get it done as early as your 40s. It's a simple blood test, and that's it. And if you're in Missouri or the Illinois area, you can go to getscreennow.com, or you type in your zip code and find a screening location near you. Or you visit siteman.washu.edu.
Score big at Hippos Dispensaries with locations in Chesterfield, Columbia, and Springfield. Daily deals that keep your wallet in the game, top cannabis brands you know and trust, and bud tenders who feel like teammates. Hippos, your home rink for cannabis in Missouri. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Windows World Studios presented by Siteman Cancer Center. My good pal Kelly Chase and Wendell Clark.
You know, it's been a long time since I saw this guy.
Yeah,
And
right?
It's so good to see.
Doesn't
your
it
old
suck?
friends. Well, and here's the crazy thing is we grew up together. We saw each other, like, his dad, he didn't ask you to come and work. He told you. We got stuff to do tomorrow. I'll be here at 7, be here at 5, be here at 6. And so we had that, and we always knew, hey, we had a gathering spot. Clark's farm, steaks were plentiful. Now we would cook, clean up behind us, and then Wendell's mom would come in. Oh, guys, just leave it. I got it from here. Don't worry about it. Guys, go play ball. It's unreal. Yeah. So when you grow up in an environment where it's community parented, a lot of pluses to it.
Huh. You look at the good people that come out of things like that and a living like that, and basically that was probably the NHL in the original 6. Everyone was just from small town Canada.
Right. You still had a
99%,
job.
right?
Yeah.
Like when was the first American?
I don't know.
One of
I
the
always tell
Patricks,
people
maybe?
the original 6 was Quebec, Ontario, and Saskatchewan. Those 3 provinces were the NHL. If you look back, then Bobby Clark made it out of Manitoba.
Flin Flon.
Yep,
Flin Flon, yeah.
But really, the original 6 was Saskatchewan, not all, but Saskatchewan, Ontario, and Quebec. And then it got to the 21 team league.
The original 21.
Then it was Canada.
Which we played in.
Yeah, it was Canada, a sprinkling of the Americans, and Boreas Salming.
Right.
then boom,
it was a sprinkling.
Yes.
Like try to name one of the Americans before 80. One of the Patricks, maybe.
Well, yeah.
Craig, did he play?
Yeah,
Craig would have played, but
so did Lynn, though, didn't he?
Well, that was back in 1883 or something. Lynn Patrick started the NHL with the Rangers.
I know, but it was the 20s or 30s.
Before 1980 and the 80 Olympic team, it's hard to name anyone that was American.
Oh, now you guys are taking her strong.
Right?
Well, kind of true.
No, is that and I always say it's tougher now to have a team. Because in our day, it was 2-3 countries. Everybody kind of you had the East-West game, and that's how you kind of play the East guys, the West guys, depending. But now you've got like 13, 14 countries of players coming, that many different languages. The coaching staff and stuff and team leaders. You've got to learn to get along with everybody just because you're not talking the same. You got to find a way to get everybody on the same page.
Seriously, you got Switzerland, you got Germany. You got Russia, Finland, Czechs, Slovaks, Swedes, Finns, Americans, Canadians. I think there's another one weird one in there that is
Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Two brothers from north.
oh
Way north.
yeah, the Inuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so and so, you're pulling teams, and how many different upbringings, from city kids to farm kids
Right.
to small town kids to
Spoiled rotten brat
Swedish-
kids to the
Yeah, no, you
work
gotta-
my ass on the farm kids to
and you're getting everybody to buy in for one. So that's probably one of the biggest things that these coaches in today's hockey is getting everybody to buy into whatever, because it doesn't matter the system. There's different systems that will win, but you all have to get everybody on the same page.
and it's harder now because there's no more Wendell Clarks and Kelly Chases and Brian Sutters that can take a young guy in and go, okay, this is the culture of our team and this is how it works, and you're going to adapt to the culture of our team. You're going to work hard, you're going to play hard, you're not going to be an asshole. And we were taught that this is how you do it. I'm not sure that is around anymore.
Well, no,
it's like, you better have a better avatar than I do on your game.
yeah.
And your third, second contract, so you're 22, 23, you're making the same as the big guy now.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
I've heard Mark
How
Messier
fun-
talk about that, where it was
Well,
you're
I-
all of a sudden, okay, that's the way it is.
I
So-
signed in 86, and my contract was 70, 105, 110. And 110 was an option year. It's like 70. It's just, like, these guys wouldn't know what.
I phoned Wendell after I got my first paycheck from Hartford when I got to Toronto and said, hey, do you think there's something's wrong here, right? And he read it back to me. He goes, no, that's about right. I go, I'm making more than you. You're playing for free.
And it's so dumb,
It was unbelievable.
right? I remember, you remember Ernie Vargas played a little bit in Montreal?
Yep, yeah.
And so we played college hockey against each other. And I went out for a beer in Moncton after a game. He played for Sherbrooke. And we were sitting in the bar and talking, and he goes, Hully, he goes, I calculated it, and he goes, if I worked at McDonald's, I would make more money than I do being a professional hockey player for the Montreal Canadiens. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Who was that?
Ernie Vargas.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
He played with Mel,
Remember
Scott
Wisconsin?
Mellenby at Wisconsin, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the times have changed.
Yeah.
But the kids they're still great when you
general, the
talk
kids.
to them, right? Yeah. They're still great kids.
You need good, and that it comes down to your leadership group. You still need, every team needs a leadership group. You learn a lot by playing, and you don't know you're learning just by playing with, especially if you're fortunate and you get to play on a good team coming up that's organized. All of a sudden, it's the right way rather than the bad team, and they let you get away with stuff. Because, well, we're not good, maybe this will work. But if you grow up in those teams that play the right way, you learn fast, and your career ends up being longer, I find.
Well, I was either fortunate or unfortunate enough to have one of the greatest players ever as my dad. And I was at the age when he went to Winnipeg to kind of gather information, and he never taught me anything. He said, watch. And he would look at me and he'd go, look at Anders Hedberg, and he'd go, watch him and do what he does. And that's how he told me to learn. And that's the biggest thing. If you're smart enough as a young kid to watch great players, you'll learn a lot. If you're smart enough to understand what you're watching.
If you're watching the game, because there's a lot of cheating now, because you can watch 30 seconds of a shift, not the game,
right.
How the player plays. We had, when I was coaching my son's team, and the little boy that was on our team, and he kept wanting to beat the same guys 3 or 4 times. A nice way of saying puck hogging a lot. And I asked him, I said, who's your favorite player? And he said, Sidney Crosby. I said, watch him play, because he doesn't do any of the things you do.
Doesn't do anything like that.
No, I said, but that's your favorite player. So watch, and I'm not mad at you, because all kids grow up with different habits. And I said, that's fine. You know, I don't bother me. I'm just trying to help you. Because as you get older, it's really hard when you play good players if you're not sharing the puck. Like, because it's hard to play. And I said, that's your favorite player. There's the best sharer in the league right now.
Best. And that's what also the greatest lesson I ever learned from my dad. Well, second greatest lesson, but the first was the game is 2-on-1. You get the puck, you move the puck, you beat the guy, you get the puck back, they come at you with another guy, you pass it to the guy who gave it to you. That's how you beat guys. You 2-on-1 people all over the ice. And it's 100 years from now, it's going to be the same thing.
Same thing, same arena, same everything.
2-on-1 people. And that's what Sidney Crosby does.
You're 2-on-1. You play in triangles, so there's always outnumbered situations.
And what's the greatest basketball team in the world? The Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan. And what was their offense? The triangle offense.
Yeah. No, I wasn't a fan of
me neither.
basketball to your level.
Me neither, but I learned.
You learned
that
and read, and
Phil Jackson's offense was the triangle offense.
Yeah. I always tell for kids and growing up and their parents, I said, only you and your dad know you're wide open standing way over there by yourself. Your dad's in the stand yelling at the coach, and you're standing way over. I said, get over where the puck is. Come be a part of the game. And the other thing is, if you want to touch the puck,
get that. Go get it.
Go get it. I said the puck is like soccer. The puck always comes back to the front of the net offensively and the front of the net defensively. If you're playing anywhere near the front of the net on both ends, the puck's coming to you.
Right.
But if you stay outside by yourself on the wall looking wide open, it's never coming to you.
And I apologize for saying this because you're an ex-defenseman, but
not really.
I would tell all my teammates or my offensive guys, I'd go, our objective is to make a defenseman make a decision, because most of the time it'll be the wrong decision, and then you make the play and we score. That's all you have to do, is make the defensive player make a decision. And that's where I would go on the ice, and I would go, are you coming? Are you coming? Are you coming up from in front? Or are you coming back on my backside? So, and if they did and they made a good decision, now the defenseman, someone else is open.
Somebody's open.
Right.
Not a lot of players were quite at your level thinking.
But isn't it
one of them?
but isn't it weird? Like, I don't know where I learned it. I just watching. I'm like,
it was as somebody said, because the old Maple Leaf Gardens had shadows. Remember, the TV camera showed one side, so you had the shadows right across the glass. And the guy goes, doesn't that really bother you, the shadows? I said, I only really bothered if it's a red shadow with 24 and I can't see him coming. That's the only shadow that really bothers me, not those TV shadows.
Or Marchment through the middle.
Or Marchment through the middle and then coming low.
Right.
But, that's the... But the hockey game today is harder to make if you're a youngster, because they all play the same way growing up. Everybody plays the same way to a certain level. In our day, Kelly, when you went to junior training camp and you're the farm kid or the small town kid, and you get to camp and go, these guys are good here. And then you put your hand up and say, Coach, if I beat the guy up, can I stay? There was an option. There was another way of playing to make. I'm not as good as these guys, but if I beat the guy up, I can stay.
Can you imagine now? It's like, oh my God, is he ever a good shot blocker? What? Who cares? What are goalies for?
Well, I love the shot blockers, but there's a complete art to it too. So.
Yeah, you're dumb.
Well, maybe.
That's what you are. You're dumb.
Or a good teammate.
Good teammate.
Or just dumb.
Not necessarily.
See the goalie there? That's blocking a shot. I'm not blocking it.
Actually,
good. Let me miss 6 weeks with a broken foot, you dumbass.
Back before, at the early days in the.
That'd be dumber than getting out of a camper trailer while it was moving.
That's funny.
Through southern
I didn't really get out of it. I just opened the door to let you know I was still back there.
Sure.
With a guest.
Told you to put your seatbelt on.
Yeah. I think we played a slow pitch
word.
game back in Porcupine later
Slow
that day.
pitch doesn't even count as a sport.
No.
God. Unreal.
No.
But so anyway, in the two of the best plays of the game happened in the middle of it.
Yeah.
We got a beautiful 2-on-1 by Toronto, and I'm not sure who it was, but he's basically on a breakaway, and he passed it to the Blues guy. Like, why wouldn't you shoot that? And then, is that Sammy Blaze
No,
from the Blues?
No.
A different Blaze?
Sammy Blaze?
Yeah, the Sammy Blaze from the Blues now plays for Toronto. Made an unbelievable cross-ice pass to give the Leafs a 2-1 lead. Like, we need that as a highlight because that was a beautiful pass. Is that Dean Blaze's son?
No.
There's a lot of similar names that don't connect. McCabe, Blaze.
Yes.
A lot of years, a lot of great teams, who was your favorite teammates? Coaches, teammates?
I think it kind of goes in eras because
Right?
you had your the 80s starting out, and we were a glorified junior team when I got there because you weren't not being good through the 80s. You had Courtnall, myself, Lehman, Iafredi, Nyland, Benning.
It's a good start of a team.
And all first rounders. All best defensemen in the Western League at one time. Nyland, Benning, Lehman,
Iafredi
Clark,
for sure.
Iafredi coming up from the Olympic program through Belleville. And
When did Roy get there?
Roy got there in 91. That was the 90s crew. So that was the 80s bit. And then the 90s come in with Davey Ellett, Dougie Gilmore, Felix Potvin, Dave Vanderchuk. And then, so that was another great crew with our tough guy coach, Pat Burns. We probably hated him as much as he liked him just because he was that tough guy pushing buttons. But that was as good as we ever played as a team.
Right.
Like the team he had put together, and Dougie being the best player. I always put Dougie. I said, you're never the Wayne Gretzky, but for 2 years, I don't know if there was anybody any better in the NHL for what you did for our team.
Well,
for 2 years to carry it.
And remember when I got traded in '88 to St. Louis, Dougie and Bernie were number 1 and 2 centers on that team. And Dougie Gilmore was no joke. No. Like, I think it was me, him, and Gino Cavallini on a line. And Dougie would just say, get open, because I'm not passing to Gino. And so, and then Bernie played with Kozlowski and I can't remember.
Brian when he was healthy.
Yeah, Brian was done.
Was hurt a lot done.
Yeah, that's when, I was only there for the playoffs in 12 games. And that's when Jacques Martin got fired. And that's when I got my beautiful nickname as the coach killer. I was there 12 games, and they keep going, I started with Jacques Martin. I go, I was there 12 games. How did I get him fired?
He didn't even know I was lazy yet.
It's unreal. And they made Brian the coach, and Brian made me everything that I ended up being.
Well, my best with Brian, because Bernie Federico, who was back home, my first hockey school, Bernie Federico Hockey School in Yorkton. And so every time Brian, in 85, 86, every time Brian and Bernie would come in, they wanted to know, okay, we're meeting for Chinese food. Where's the best spot in Toronto? Right. So I'd be night before the game.
Woo's, right?
Woo's, right there. And I'd be taking those two guys the night before, because that's where they wanted to go, because Bernie, it was that first hockey school, and they were the skill guys. You looked up to Bernie, 100-point guy in the NHL, and he's helping.
He was unreal.
Hockey school to golf course. I learned the program.
Nice.
Bernie, hockey school to golf course. That was Bernie.
I'll tell you what, Bernie's still one of the best guys in the world.
I was telling Wendell I had both.
You can get up. Your legs aren't broken.
Bernie, I know, right? Bernie and Tyson Nash
Curtis Lasician. We all played in the member guest at Gosler this year. And Bernie had a riot.
Oh, Lord. He did, like the stories we tell him, he didn't get it until he got up there.
Now he gets it.
Got to bring Wendell up there.
Yeah.
He's invited me. It's my
80
hiccup.
times.
He's invited me. The one time I was at that COVID thing and I got stuck in airports everywhere. I says, I can't make it.
Yeah.
That was the back of the early days. Yeah, no, I've been invited.
Well, we got to remember our friends from McBride Homes are here, having a good time in the back, building homes for the great people of St. Louis for
they're so
decades
unbelievable.
now.
Us.
Unbelievable.
Think of the things over the years that they've given to us. Like, gave me a house for 6 years, gave Chief a house. I mean, anytime someone was in trouble, hey, just come on, we'll figure it out after. So,
Jesus,
we
I never
do the
got
mortgage
a house,
2 years
for God's
later.
sakes.
You missed that memo.
What the
You didn't
hell?
get that memo.
God. Yeah, we're lucky. We've got some great people, Windows Worlds and Siteman's. And well, he's one way through the 2/3 through the Gordie Howe hat trick, McCabe. A goal and a penalty, and all he needs is a fight. Oh, no.
Assist.
Well, that's not how it works. Yeah, see, I don't know what that is.
That's an assist.
Just stay in your lane.
The Brett Hull hat trick is a goal, assist, and a fight with the coach.
Wasn't that with you? Just if it was an empty
No,
netter?
it's a
That's
goal
because
of fighting
you assist?
tequila.
I don't get those empty netters. I'll get my first assist.
God. Dumbest thing I ever did.
Yeah. Yeah, who wants 900?
What do you think of the Blues' new unis?
Is it the new old?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just kind of went little,
Slimmer.
lighter blue. I love them. Way better than those clown outfits you played against us. Oh my God. It's hard to beat that classic Leafs crest, though, isn't it?
I always say the original six are
best.
still the
Yes.
some of the. I never ever wanted to play Boston when they were wearing their third uniform. The Bear.
You wanted to play Detroit because I don't think they ever won in those.
Ones.
Yzerman finally just said not wearing them anymore. We haven't won in these yet. Another terrible shot.
Fabry's got to hit the net with that. But
Well, that's not Fabry. It's Thomas.
I mean, yeah, Thomas.
Robbie.
Good player.
He can pass a puck.
And
what did he
we
just do?
just proved that right there.
He played with my guy
Fantastic.
growing up, and against him, he could pass a puck growing up.
Okay, tell me, I played Tier 2 junior up in Penticton and then went to college. Like, why does London always get the best players in junior?
Well, the Hunters are pretty good at what they do, and then once they started, and the other, since my son played in the Ottawa side in junior for the O, they get a lot of the players out of the States. They won't go that far into Ontario, the Ottawas,
right?
But London being that good, my son can come and play there. That's pretty close traveling. And so they get to go to a good team, good situation, and it's close for us.
Close to home.
So those teams usually in the Ontario League that were close to the border got that player that when everybody else was scouting, they'd say, I'm not coming. And then London would take him in the 7th round.
And they'd be
giggling because they
unreal
know
player.
because they know they'll come that far.
Right.
But Ottawa said we always had a tough time competing with.
And that's why it's so hard in the West, because everything is so close and it's a fight over all the players.
It's a fight in the distance. And
They get so many opportunities. So many people reach out. I mean, I reached out to him this year when Jackman's son took off, and then they came to watch him and decided not to take him. And now I seen Huntz the other day. He goes, I think we made a poor decision.
Yeah, terrible decision.
But the good thing with them is that they've been doing it so long, they still are involved. Like, they're hockey guys. Like
they totally get it.
They get it.
Dale's the coach. Mark is a GM and president.
I'll see him in buildings, and he was just finished, working for the Leafs. Then he goes back into London, and now I'm seeing at 14-year-old hockey games. Like, he's not, like, he knows I got to see it and trust it.
Right.
And you wonder why they always have good players.
It
might not be the first 2 years from now, that guy drafted 5th, who's not making it this year, 2 years from now, he may be better than the guy I took first.
right.
Knowing how he's going to develop and grow.
Basil involved there too?
Yeah.
Right?
He is. I don't know if he's day-to-day as much, but...
What a guy he was.
Well, I see
Love
Basil
Basil.
now. I said, when we used to tango, why weren't you this skinny?
I say that to him all the time too.
You didn't get the alumni memo.
No.
He's still as ugly as he ever was, though, so it doesn't matter. I love playing with Basil. Razzle, dazzle, Basil.
I had him the 3 spots with the old Chuck Norris divisions, with Minnie and St. Louis and Detroit.
Yeah, I mean,
Can you get out of the division?
I mean, think about the characters that we all played with. Like, it's crazy. Like Ron Caron would bring in three new crazies every year. Craig Cox. It's like, where did this? He looks like Shaggy from Scooby Doo. Fight anyone, drink anything, smoke anything. He was beautiful, and he cared as well. He was a good guy. Hey, Chaser, tell the story when we were in the playoffs and you guys were, the Black Aces were getting skated and Ron Caron came in after you guys had just been bagged by the angriest human being alive, Bob Berry.
I can't remember what the line was exactly, but it was.
He
came down in the room and he
gave a
Mr.
question.
Cron says, I got a question for you. How many goals did Gordie Howe score in overtime in the playoffs? And everyone's having their guess, and it gets to Coxie, and
he says,
exhausted.
he goes, I got one for you, Mr. Caron.
well,
How
first I'll
far
give
is
you the
the
answer.
Bat Cave from Gotham City? And Ron Caron's like, smart guy, huh? And he was gone that summer.
How far is the Bat Cave from Gotham City? I got one for you. Oh, sitting there like, what? What the fuck are you talking about?
It was equal. I mean, he had about as much chance of knowing how many overtime goals Gordie Howe had as Ron Caron did the Bat Cave.
And by the way, Gordie Howe had none.
Yeah. Was there even overtime back then?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
God. What do you can we get rid of the scraping the damn ice?
In between, there's no bad ice to play out anymore.
It's so...
Hey, in Toronto, they got 2 ice sessions. We don't even have practice with snow on it anymore.
Right.
They have 20 minutes of practice. If the practice is over 20 minutes, they walk across to the brand new sheet of ice.
And like practice shooting,
Practice,
that's the problem. They don't know what it's like to score a goal late in a period.
And you know who else said that? Sitting up, we're watching. Matt Sundin's in, because they were a couple years ago. Well, we never play on perfect ice.
Never.
So why are we always practicing on perfect
I
ice?
used to shoot on that crap ice after 2 hours of
Matt,
practice.
First thing Matt's noticed was, how do you practice? You play, our ice is never that good.
Right.
And he's noticed that. You got to be able to handle it, skating and rolling and doing all the, it's not always perfect. Unless you played in Edmonton. Then our Leaf end in Edmonton was always perfect.
How about when you'd come to St. Louis and
Sure they had that shined up.
in the old barn, and it'd be dripping off the roof onto the ice.
Well, the old Odd and Maple Leaf Gardens come playoff time in May, it was water between the 2 blue lines because no air conditioning, no dehumidifiers, nothing. So
and no play in the neutral zone. God. How long till the big boy gets back, Matthews?
I don't know. They've not really said it. He just. I think he just went on IR, which means over a week now for sure, right?
He's a good player, right?
He can play. He can shoot and it's not that his shot is hard. It looks hard. It's so quick. He uses technology.
The most important thing.
He uses technology with the snapper as good as anybody, and pulling it in or not pulling it in when he's healthy. His quickness of the release, and he doesn't drop his hand because of technology. You had the whip and the aluminum, but back in the old wood days, you had to drop your hand just to try to bend the wood stick to get any jump out of the stick.
And the wood stick never went the right way. It went down like a golf club instead of like a...
And so
we got this wall of sticks over there, and I looked at my stick, and I'm like, oh my God, is that gross? I'm like, how did we do it? It's terrible.
Well, you had in the old days, you had to learn how to shoot to have a shot.
Yeah.
Like you had to have a tech. Where today, as long as you know how to make the stick bend,
Yeah, as long as you can straighten out your
Just
lower
figure
hand.
out where the kick point is.
Yeah, exactly.
the puck will jump. Now,
And they miss the net so
Nauseam.
incredibly much in today's game.
and because the same number of guys, more guys can shoot hard now because of
Right.
technology, but the same number of guys know where it's going in any
Yeah,
era.
exactly.
There's still only 2 guys in each team that could shoot where they're supposed to be shooting. And that's the skill level of the players, but the technology they get to use.
And it's still a very similar. Like I'm watching the Blues power play right now, and it kind of morphs into an umbrella and then morphs out of it. There's the back to the umbrella, and then it morphs out of it. And another shot wide by a defenseman, which is exactly what I say about the NFL. They
I
play
find
defense
that,
because they can't catch.
Ooh,
Yep.
we land on our goalie.
Doesn't want to score.
But I find now that they miss the net more than we did. Our goalies were smaller with lots of spots, and the more they should be shooting to hit the net now, but they're shooting to miss the goalie, and the goalie fills so much of the net. You can't be that perfect. So now you miss everything. Just get the puck on the net. Like you were saying earlier, the quadrants. Hit one of the quadrants.
Yeah.
You don't have to hit.
Absolutely.
I don't have to hear bar to make it go in.
You don't have to be perfect.
Nope.
And if it does hit the bar, it's like, hey, I look really good. See, we were talking about Tavares earlier. You saw unbelievable play by Nylander, and then Tavares, he's going to the net, one hands it and almost goes in. I hate the numbers. Can't we just retire names? Like guys wear real numbers?
They are getting
Right?
big
Like,
on
do you
all-
really care if someone wears number 17 in Toronto?
No, that's
Me
the-
neither. Just retire Clark, retire Hull, retire whoever. But you got to those. I hate the big numbers. Makes you look like such a bad player.
Well, I knew that's when I went to Team Canada training camp in '87, trying out for the team. I knew I wasn't going to make the team. I had 47.
No.
I had number 4. I don't think I make
remember.
it. I don't think I made
Hamilton,
it.
What year was this?
That was '87.
Jeez, that was like no.
Yeah.
'87 Canada Cup would have been the first
Because
one.
I think my first one was maybe the same one when they kept Chris Nyland instead of me.
Yes, he did make it.
Yeah, and that was
That was '87.
yeah, that was my sophomore year of college. And who was 17 on Team Canada? Norman Rochefort?
I don't know.
That's a pretty good call on the name.
I don't
isn't
know.
it?
Norman Roche.
Who would be 17? Ooh, Goo.
Yeah.
Was Gou-
Michel Goulet,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, he had a few 50s.
Yeah. Also awesome guy.
Yeah.
Awesome guy.
But you're not penciled in.
That's
You got to make.
right.
You got to
Yeah.
really make the team if you're 47.
And when you're trying out for Team Canada, I don't like. Who,
I had a 41
Hold
one year
on,
in camp.
what guy am I going to pick up to beat up on Team Canada? It's like, dude, either they're all my friends or I'm not going to beat up like that guy, like one of the Sutters or anything. I'm like,
Who do you have you running at? Because I was there in Hamilton.
I'd fought Chris Nyland in Montreal actually during.
well, yeah, I'm talking about your own team.
No, your trials. I
Right.
found it so fun because I started in Toronto.
Great
in
experience,
87,
right?
Then in just imagine that, a month in Toronto training, or a month
Great
in Montreal
experience,
training camp, a month in Montreal. But every day you'd go to and you'd do inter squad games every day.
And you were in great shape when you went back to your team. That's what I liked about it.
And one day it's Gretzky's your centerman, the next day it's Lemieux's your centerman, the next day it's Savard, the next day it's Yzerman.
Yeah.
I go,
Howard
I
Chuck.
was getting the puck on my stick.
Yeah.
How do you see me? My other guys don't see me like this.
love it.
Like that's how good the centerman
Right.
that you got to play with. And when I got cut, I really wanted to feel upset, and I couldn't because I get cut, and I'm going out in the same car as Yzerman and Neely.
Right.
I really can't feel sorry for myself when those two guys didn't
Not
make it either.
one bit. Here we are at the end of the second period, brought to you by Windows World's Studios, presented by Siteman Cancer Center. Car Shield, protection that keeps you in the game and on the road. Can't wait for the third period with Wendell Clark.
We're coming to you from Window World Studios, Hully. And you know these guys, they're all about windows.
That's right, Chaser. Windows World of St. Louis doesn't just put in windows. They take care of people. Best service in the business, hands down.
And they'll do whatever it takes to make customers happy. And that's why fans around here trust Window World for their homes.
So if you need new windows, go with the teams that's willing to go the extra mile. Window World of St. Louis.
Window World of St. Louis, best in town, buddy.
Absolutely. Now it's time for our Get Checked moment of the game. And today, we're talking about breast cancer. And if you're a gentleman watching, please tell your wives, girlfriends, friends, daughters, sisters, aunts, and even your mother-in-law. Gals watching, listen closely to this. If you're 40 or older and haven't yet gotten your mammogram, it is so important that you do. Women who undergo regular yearly screening for breast cancer have better outcomes than women who don't. If you have family history of breast cancer, there is a chance you will need to start getting screened even earlier. And that's something to talk to your primary care physician about. Siteman Cancer Centers offer a mobile mammography van that parks at convenient places like Schnucks and Walmart all over town, so you can get screened on your way to run errands. Check out the van schedule and make an appointment on Siteman's website, siteman.washu.edu, or type in your zip code at getscreennow.com. If you're in Missouri or Illinois, to find multiple locations near you to get screened.
Hully, you know what's worse than a defenseman putting you into the boards?
Well, that's an easy one. Paying out of pocket for car repairs. That hurts more than a fight with you.
That's why there's Car Shield. When there's a breakdown, Car Shield helps you cover the cost and doesn't leave you stranded.
Over 5,000 parts and systems covered, and 24/7 roadside assistance. It's like having an enforcer in your corner, only for your car.
Month-to-month coverage plans that fit any budget and no long-term contracts, bud.
Don't wait for a breakdown. Go to carshield.com today. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com. Back again at the Windows World Studios, presented by Siteman Cancer Center, with my pal Wayne Gretzky and our special guest, Wendell Clark, a legend for the Toronto Maple Leafs, amongst others, but none of us really ever stay on one team unless you're Ovechkin.
No.
Or
Crosby,
Yzerman.
Ovechkin, Yzerman.
Right?
Our middle name was Samsonite.
Yeah.
By the end, it's Samsonite.
That was my roommate. I roomed with Chaser's bag.
Oh, you got some nerve.
Who'd you room with, Wendell?
When they start, you know what was the worst habit in the early days? They always wanted the old veteran with the new young guy.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was the worst. I said, the new young guy comes in late, gets up late, and the old guy gets up early and goes to bed early. I said, they're totally opposite programs.
Absolutely.
They're not going to get along. But they always went through that, going through tons of roommates. That, and we probably went through about 12 guys a year.
Yeah,
Teammates.
right? Unbelievable. The GMs love to trade guys, didn't they?
Trade guys. I think we started in the back room where the hot tub was. We started putting everybody's nameplate up.
Every team did that.
Every team had their nameplates up there so you could see, well, I used to play with him.
God. Yeah, but I think we were roommates for 8 or 9 straight years.
8 years, yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got to know what you looked like after about the 5th year.
well, I loved looking at your suitcase over in the corner. It was the only thing in the room.
But it was always, it was good being the veteran, though, because it was like rooms at 65.
Oh, yeah.
TV's on all night. And we're not watching hockey.
And
We're not watching hockey. Got enough hockey. The VCR tapes with Roger Nielsen.
I told our current guys, I can't remember which coach, but his current, and I said to the players, you guys do not know how good you got it because your team meeting was like 12 minutes long at most. Because it was all done and cut, and they could show the highlight in like 4 seconds. I said, we had VHS, forward, backwards, sideways. I said,
And it was
a
like,
half hour.
you couldn't even tell who was on the ice because it was all fluttered.
Here's your power play breakout in Hartford. There was no TV game in Hartford. How'd you get that?
Ever. Tell us a little about John Brophy.
John Brophy, my second coach. He,
Who's the first one?
Dan Maloney.
Oh yeah,
Dan
the old
Maloney.
Winnipeg Jet.
Yeah, the old
He was
started
a tough,
start.
tough old bird, yeah.
Yeah, and then we had John Brophy the next year, his first in training camp. So I went first overall and then finished my season. And then they called Kevin McGuire is coming in to be the team tough guy. So Brophy has him fight me. And I'm going, I'm not that position.
Sorry, Kevin.
And so that was a battle. And then it turned into a line brawl because then Courtnall got in when it was going to be the second one. It was we have a brawl in training camp. But Brophy that was the first year we had a great exhibition because he wanted to win so bad. He dressed the whole lineup every exhibition game.
Right.
He dressed the NHL lineup. He wanted to win, right?
There's some great stories about coaches doing that.
You played to win at home more than just see who can play.
Right.
And then I remember going into Game 7 in Detroit, and we did suicides in pregame skate, no pucks.
What?
I don't know why we lost Game 7.
Oh, boy.
Run out of gas.
How'd you
but
feel?
he was so intense, like you had to work out harder. And he loved. We had and tough. We were losing a game about 7 or 8-1, I think, in Los Angeles. And you guys remember he cut his head open. He was cutting underneath the stands to come to the third period, and he had red blood coming out of his head, down his white hair, and dripping on his shoulder. And he
On
wouldn't
his
go.
$200 suit.
Yeah, and he wouldn't go get stitched. And then post-game, he went get stitched, and the doctor went to give him freezing, and he said, no freezing. I said, that hurts. He's a tough guy because you're stitching an hour after you got cut.
Yeah.
And you went, no freezing, just stitch it. But he was one intense coach. And that whole era, like he had Jacques Demers and him coached against each other, coming from the East Coast League, Lou Nanny, all that whole era of guys. So they all hated each other, and they're all in the Norris Division.
Yeah.
And they all come up through the East Coast coaching.
Well, Brian Sutter didn't come from there, but he hated everyone anyway.
Hated everyone, yep. And so just the intensity level that he brought to everything. Like it was just, we had a line brawl with the Edmonton Oilers. I think I'd fought McCavish, so then Messier was really mad. So the next shift, there was another line brawl in the exhibition, except he had Stevie Thomas on one side and Russ Courtnall on the other one.
Well, Stevie Thomas was no
Stevie
joke.
No, but he had Russ and Steve, and then because Brophy started this brawl, and oh gosh. And Edmonton, they're just the ones coming off winning the cup. They're just trying to slide through exhibition.
Yeah, right.
We just want to
we
get
don't
through
need this
this.
shit.
We don't need this.
Yeah.
But the best line, my opening line, getting used to the NHL, Dan Maloney coaching, and you think you're going to have that big pregame speech and get you going rah-rah. And my first game in Edmonton, so it was Saturday night, hockey night in Canada. Let's keep it close, guys. It's a national game tonight.
No.
Let's
How's
keep
the confidence, fellas? Coach really thinks, let's
keep it close. It's a national game tonight.
I used to bug my centerman like that. I'd go, hey, try to get a piece of this draw, will you?
But Dan, he learned to become a better coach. That was his first coaching gig in Toronto, and then
And
all
he
of a
tried
sudden,
to coach like he played instead of just coaching.
and coaching, and then by Winnipeg, he became talking to Dave L. Learned more about the coaching and how to do it, and so Dan. So it was, and hockey was different. Like now that the league's so tight, everybody is coached pretty well. The team's parity is good. Where back in our day, the good teams are good and the bad was bad.
Oh, terrible.
Like you know, being a high point guy would go into it going,
dude,
We
this
could have a
could be
good night.
good
This
one.
could be a good night
This is a
tonight.
goodie. Yeah, that's like, oh, I'm just going to score for no reason, right?
They put us slugs out on the ice for the last 5 minutes or something. Couldn't seem to get any points going, but sure felt good being out there at the end of the game.
Yeah, you might get that plus, though. The also dumbest stat in the world, plus minus. My buddy Wendell here, he's a minus player in his career.
I'm a career minus. I
Me
started
too.
out some big high ones.
I got 86 goals and was minus. You figure that one out, buddy.
We had a tough night one night, and I think Giller and Ellett were like -4. And McCowan and Natras were going, how do you guys as a pair be -4? We played it in Pittsburgh the next night, and Joey Mullen and Mario had a night, and they were -5 or 6. We got our butt kicked, and I've never seen two defensemen looking at the other two smiling the whole night because they got bugged the first time, and now they're looking back. How's Mario and Mr. Mullen doing?
Right? They were good when they were good.
Were they? Oh, my
Pittsburgh.
gosh.
Oh, my Lord. You want to piss off Mario. He would just say, okay, I've had enough.
Yeah, he was. Well, I always say Mario was the most individually skilled guy that I played against with size at that 80s era, that 6'5" and reach.
Unreal.
And just.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was going in slow-mo, but he wasn't.
He wasn't.
Yeah,
Tried
it
to
was
catch
like an animated character
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Crazy how good he was. And that's, if you, and there's the teams that get so lucky, right? Not once, but twice. First they get Mario, then they get Yager, and then later on they get Crosby, and then they get Malkin, and they get Fleury, Letang.
Letang, too,
I mean,
yes.
it's like, okay, well, that's how Chicago did it, right?
Yep.
Chicago got Taves, Kane, Keith, Seabrook. They all got them right in 1 or 2 drafts.
Yeah. No, if you get it, and then they mature quickly. And
It's kind of like the Blues when they had a chance to take Joe Sakic. They decided they were going to go with Keith Osborne.
Oh, that one hurt. That one hurt.
Joe was pretty good.
Yeah, he was pretty damn good. I remember the night we were in Detroit and Joe was playing, and our little buddy Sean Avery, and he loved it more than anyone, chirping, and he stood up and he started calling Joe Sakic old man, and I grabbed him and I pulled him down and say, show some respect. And I'm like, because that's the way we were, right? We had respect for each other, and especially those guys. They were
Because they didn't
so
say
good.
nothing.
No, they played, and that was it. Unreal.
Well, I asked Joe one time when I got to Quebec, I said, because we played in New Jersey first, which was the big rink, ice service, and we went into Boston the next night, and I said, you must hate Boston. He said, no,
Best.
I beat a guy, I get a scoring chance.
Absolutely.
He said, I beat a guy in New Jersey, 2 guys catch me.
I said the same thing, Boston, Chicago, and Buffalo. I get more scoring chances in
And
those
that's-
small rinks than I do in any of the big ones.
First thing he told me,
Yeah.
because I only have to beat one guy, and then
Right.
it's scoring territory. We loved it. And, the NHL wants, we want to go Olympic. No, you don't. The game gets boring, and then it all
Terrible.
gets
Right.
1-0 games. But
Did you play against Dale Durkach?
Dale Durkach was in Regina. He
Oh,
was in Notre
Regina.
Dame.
I thought he was a Medicine Hat guy.
No, he was
Because I played
Regina.
against him growing up in Winnipeg.
Yep.
Him and Darren Boyko.
Yes.
He played in
little
Brandon,
Yakamoto.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good players.
Yeah, well, changed a little bit. Durkach could have probably played in the NHL.
Hold on. We got the replay of Sammy Blais setting up Toronto's second goal.
Play the game.
Brought to you by Hippo's High Point. That's hockey right there.
Yeah.
I wish we could have got before that when he was basically on a breakaway on a 2-on-1 and decided, I don't want to score. And it wasn't him, but he comes in there and pulls up like Gretzky, throws a rink wide. I mean, that's hockey to me. I love that. 1,000 games. Justin Falk.
I like
Long-time Carolina Hurricane.
Good team.
Good player.
Yep.
Good player.
It's a long time. People get the 1,000, but that 1,000's hard to get. Like when you think of all the players that play in the league, not just the really good ones that actually get there or the guys that are healthy, but you got to be healthy and play a lot of games to get there.
And the other thing, and you look at games, you look at goals, and like Glenn Anderson has 499 goals. Come on. We can't get him one goal.
One more.
Like he could probably still play today, Andy. He was such an unreal skater. 499 goals. Unreal. And that's it. I quit. I think this game's going to overtime, fellas.
Oh, yeah? Perfect.
That's my theory.
2-2.
Although I tell you what, the Blues are taking it to Toronto right now. But again, nobody knows how to take angles. They always go wide and away from the net instead of towards that far post.
Yep.
It's a heck of a lot easier to score from that angle than it is from the first row in the corner with a bucket of popcorn in your hand. How about, we all played with tough guys. That Ty Domi was something, wasn't he?
He was a tough customer
Well,
for a short guy.
uh,
And you couldn't hurt him.
no,
You couldn't hurt him. That's
probably the best thing that makes you tough, right? If you can't get hurt, you're not afraid to get in there.
no. And he smiled doing it all the time.
And I'll tell you what. I moved back to Dallas, and I was in Nashville for 7 years, and people would kind of find out who I was, and they'd ask me about hockey, and some of the questions were kind of dumb, like, are the fights real? And the first thing I would do is go, let's just go to YouTube and go Wendell Clark fights. And that is the most fun 5 minutes of my life watching that.
The what's not legal in the NHL?
No, well, I mean, you were Mike Tyson. I'm not holding on. I'm hitting you with both hands and moving forward at all times. And it was incredible. Like, I watched Bob Probert fight for decades in the NHL. Not decades, a couple decades. And he was really good. And every time I watch you fight him, he was scrambling like an MFer because you were coming at him from every angle.
Well, the big and Chaser knows we're not the big guys. You always had to go offense, and you had to be willing to take it because if you let the big guy get you at the end of the arm and hold you out,
that's the worst.
you were done.
Right.
There's nothing, and so you're with Proby, and now you're going, I got to.
But you fought everyone that way. When you had Bob Brook on the ice.
When he
My God!
yeah,
Tell me about that one and why you were so mad.
I don't know why I was mad, but I must have been. He must have said something. He must have said something.
It was like when you had your little brother and you had him and your knees were on his shoulders and he couldn't move his arms and you were just punching him in the face and I'm like, oh my God! I like when I first watched it, I go, is he gonna stop?
No. There was no. He must have said something. I can remember.
Someone must have done something.
I could actually. It might have been Kelly asked me one time back in our junior between Humboldt and Saskatoon. He said, why would you? He probably said, "Why are you still hitting him?" Because the next time I don't want him to even think of it.
Right.
Like you.
This will be the last time he ever thinks about it. Right.
You wanted an edge somehow, or somebody else, and especially in today's game, somebody else may see that, and then you don't have to because that game. It happens down the road. You don't have to do it because they watch the highlight of that.
And in a opposite way, that's the way I was in front of the net. I told all my teammates, I go, never let them know it hurts. And, we would you were there too, right?
Oh.
We would get cross-checked.
Like you guys
probably more me than you because they knew I wasn't going to stand up and fight them. But I got abused, and I would never, ever.
Yeah, there is
because
no abuse
next
in front of
time
that
it's
now.
like might as well not hit him because it's not going to hurt him.
No, now the abuse you took back then, the defense, it was almost like a credit card. If you cross-check the guy in front of this area, there's no penalties.
Right.
Until it's the fifth one.
Yeah, I would talk to the ref and I'd be like, okay, you know what I do, right? I score goals. I go, do you think I'm falling down on purpose? I can't score from my knees and my face in the ice. And we were talking earlier about when there'd be line brawls and that, and like Brad McCrimmon or Bob Rouse, good old farm boys, they didn't want to fight you, but they would grab you both by the arm and it'd be like, well, we're not fighting, but you're not going anywhere, right? And it's like, well, you're probably right. That I would love when I would outmuscle a defenseman and get them to the point where they just sit there and they'd go, God damn, are you strong? And I'd go, gotcha. I knew, and I got him, right? And
your dad had a few highlights like that, playing against the big guys and Fergie and he had to go through. But that was
unreal,
there's
right?
that thing in front of the net, and you'd go to the ref, you'd look, and the ref would go, it's just a battle.
Yeah.
Well, then you come in here and take some of this if you think it's just a battle.
Right, Bill Friday and those guys, it's like,
oh, that's battling. I said, no, that's not battling. Mario used to whine the most about that because he was the big skill guy, right?
yeah.
But you know what? Probably
But he didn't spend a whole bunch of time.
no, he
in front
didn't
of the
have to
net.
go near that.
Right.
But what probably helped or hurt offense now was those guys complaining about when we used to go and hit people and check people, stick off the ice right in the gut.
Oh, yeah.
So now there's passing lanes everywhere. Now the guy's got the skates in the right direction, the sticks are packed. It's harder to find passing lanes today.
Right.
Versus back then when it was maybe a little rougher, but the skill guy could find a lot more passes before that guy got to you.
Right. And I would tell all my line mates, so I walked. I basically looked like I was walking, skating, and I would raise my arms, and I would let them hook me around the waist, and I would tell them, hands are free, I can shoot. Like, as long as they didn't tie up my arms, I was still able to shoot.
That is the difference between great centermen and just good centermen.
Right.
He knows your hands are free. I watched the 2 years that Davey Andechuk scored 50 in Toronto, and he'd put his butt on one side holding the guy out there, and Dougie be just feeding him. And
Absolutely. There's Ty right there.
There he is. But the average center would
looking
think,
for a sponsor. The old plain black hat, no sponsor. Only 3,500 penalty minutes.
But this guy stopped talking to me. I'm going to watch my son play.
Ty's a good guy.
Yeah,
I
lives
like
in New
Ty.
York. We don't see him. He's in New York now.
Oh, there's Max. Actually, a pretty good player.
I wish he'd play a little more like his dad because he grew up a really skilled guy. So he can pass the puck. He's got a pretty good shot. He could use it more. But boy, if he had a little more of the dad, like, because he can skate, like he can hunt down the defenseman to cause turnovers and he's played for us. He's played center. He's played wing. Like, he's been a very
versatile,
usable person for the coaches.
I'm not sure Toronto's the right place for him. If he was a little more anonymous, he'd be, like you said earlier, it's hard to play in Toronto if you're a Toronto guy or have ties to it.
It's sometimes harder a hometown kid playing in the big, because you go back to everybody knows you or remembers you, or your dad's calling you and needs tickets for Bob across the street Saturday afternoon before the game.
I almost signed with the Blackhawks, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was probably a good thing I didn't.
Yeah, Dougie tells me the whole time when he signed there, he heard you were going, so he signed. Then you went to Dallas. Was that the time you went to Dallas instead of
Detroit.
Chicago? Or you went to Detroit instead of Chicago?
And it was funny. I almost went to Montreal. And it was like one of the coolest things. I spent 45 minutes on the phone with Jean Beliveau. And we talked, and it was like, okay, I go, honey, like, you can learn to speak French, and it'll be fun, great culture and that. And we were out for dinner, and we had said, okay, I think Montreal. And then Chelly called me and said, you want to come to Detroit? And I'm like, yep, want to come to Detroit. I'm not an idiot. They were so good.
They were.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's pre-salary cap era there.
Well, Chicago, and it was, 1 a.m. they called me, and they're loaded, and Bob Pulver's like, $7 million's a lot of money. And I go, well, I don't want $7 million. I don't want so. And he said it 30 times, and finally I just hung up. I go, like, this is, like, they can't have a serious conversation with them. 2.5 minutes left, and started out kind of boring, turned into a pretty good game, a lot of good scoring chances. Wendell was saying that Toronto's been having a hard time getting pucks on the net.
Lots of shots.
They got 20.
That's the most shots I've seen us have in a
tonight.
long time. That's a good sign for us.
Yeah, and they've actually been some good shots. Binnington's played pretty well for the Blues, and Wolves played great for Toronto because the Blues have had some. See, this is where a guy like Nylander is a game breaker. And that's when they come through in these closing minutes of games where, teams that don't have those guys,
They don't win.
they're just begging for overtime. Oh, we got our 1 point. Coach is going to be happy. What was your favorite Barnes to play in?
Most of the Chuck Norris division was good.
Right?
Because the energy.
I loved playing in Minnesota.
Joe Louis, Minnesota had the best ice next to Edmonton.
Didn't it feel like you were in an Olympic-sized rink, but it was normal-sized?
Yep.
I think
Except
it's
for that
'cause
long, slow walk back to the dressing room.
Yeah, there was
down
a lot of stairs up too.
But and Montreal was always good because that Montreal is Montreal. That's your.
I felt like we were changing skates in a freaking.
I liked the night before in Montreal.
Did you ever?
We were pissed off because Brian Sutter went to Canada Cup.
Yep, eight
with Keenan, and he came back, and all of a sudden, training camp, all of a sudden, he was a little junior Mike Keenan, and I'm like, hold on here. And I was with Adam Oates and Butchie and Chaser and the guys, and I'm like, hold on, who is this guy? Because he was the best to play for. He was hard, but he was fair, and he was great. And all of a sudden now, he's jerk off.
He scared the shit out of me. No one scared me. He scared me.
No, he did not.
He did.
No one scared you. I scared you.
You didn't scare me with that shit.
And so I tell Butchie, we're at the Whistling Oyster, and I go, I'm not playing. I go, you better have a talk with the coach and tell him until he comes back as Brian Sutter. I go, I'm not playing. He goes, yeah, you are. And I go, no, I'm not. And he goes, if you say that one more time, I'm going to punch you. And this is happy hour. It's starting to get packed in there the night before opening night in Toronto.
The Whistling Oyster card.
Whistling Oyster. And I go, Butchie.
Freddie just passed away last week, the owner of Whistling Oyster.
Oh, yeah?
Fred's not here, Whistling Oyster. Yep.
And he punched me off my stool right in the middle of happy hour. And I'm like, oh, my God. End of the third, 2-2. We're heading to overtime, fellas. Toronto and the Blues. What a perfect night. Wendel Clark, Kelly Chase. And we're going to take a quick break from the Windows World Studios. Presented by Siteman Cancer Center. Score big at Hippos Dispensaries with locations in Chesterfield, Columbia, and Springfield. Daily deals that keep your wallet in the game, top cannabis brands you know and trust, and bud tenders who feel like teammates. Hippos, your home rink for cannabis in Missouri. Welcome back. Windows World Studios, presented by Siteman Cancer Center with Wendel Clark and Kelly Chase. Got 5 minutes of overtime. Two great teams. Two great franchises.
Two great franchises that
franchises.
both need the win to get them going before December comes.
Right. I would love to play me some 3-on-3 overtime. How about you? Oh, my Lord. I don't know. And people ask Wayne Gretzky if he could score in this league. I'm like, are you kidding? Oh, my God. Ovechkin would still be chasing him.
I always explain, when I explain how good Wayne was, I said he's the only guy I've seen out of all the greatest players that has never had to play in traffic and at the end of the night never in front of the net, never see him. And in the night, he's got 4 points.
Yeah.
He was the difference in the game. And he wasn't where Sidney's got to go through the traffic. Ovechkin's in the traffic. McDavid's cutting through speed with traffic. Wayne could do the whole game, and yet he was the reason somebody scored.
It was a game of illusion. He would take everyone one way, turn up, and the whole game would be on the other side of the ice. And they'd all be looking left, and he'd go right. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Crazy.
He told me that he could get the puck in his own end, look up, and never look up again, and just throw little blind passes, and it'd be right on someone's tape because his vision of what was happening was so incredible.
I think somebody asked him once, everything going on, everything's in front of you, how do you know? And he goes, well, there's 9. Somebody's missing. Curry had to be right here.
Yeah.
I couldn't see him, so he had to be here.
See, that's sick. That's sick.
I couldn't count to 9 if somebody's chasing me that hard. No.
Yeah, and first of all, you can't play with your gloves on the ice because you had like 9.
87 Canada Cup.
I think you wouldn't come off the
He
ice.
takes my stick. He says, I'm going to use you. The only thing close is we both use Titan.
Yeah, you did.
We both
You used the blue one. He used the red one, right? Or black?
For that inter-squad game, he used my stick, scored 3, give it back to me. And I'm like, now why didn't I keep that stick? But he says,
and it wasn't similar because his was gross.
Yeah, so obviously it's the guy handling the stick. That's the problem.
And I told Wayne, I said, like, could you imagine how good you'd be if you had a decent stick? I go, you're carrying a 2x4 out there that doesn't flex. And he could shoot it.
He could shoot, and it wouldn't flex.
Unreal. Well, that's why they call him the Great One.
And he was.
And always will be.
Yep.
I don't care how many goals Ovechkin gets. He'll never get to 2,500 points, 1,600 assists. That's crazy. He's got more assists than anyone has points. Well, I loved being with both of you guys tonight.
Oh.
Well, Clarky, I enjoyed it a lot. Hully carried the show again.
Huh. Again.
I can't see and I can't hear. And I'm waiting for these things to heal up.
I feel like we're playing together again. You can't see, you can't hear.
Yeah.
I mean,
but as you'll see, I'll make a bunch of tracks all over this. So I appreciate it very much. Clarky, thanks for coming.
Awesome. Glad to get here.
And we wish you and the Maples all the best this season, and hope we have a couple of long playoff runs. Swing and a miss, strike one. What did I say?
You just
I
say?
don't know.
What did you call?
My number is, just call me and I'll help your team. There's Chief. Just look at him, how unhappily happy he is. Love the Chief.
Look at this move to score this goal.
Yeah, Nylander.
Traffic.
You need people like that to win you games.
Did he go through traffic and bank it off him from behind the net?
I wouldn't.
He stuck. He come from behind.
I wouldn't say he went through traffic, but
3-on-3 traffic.
he made a nice play.
3-on-3 traffic. That's Sunday.
We're
rush
about to
hour.
see the highlight right here. I thought both goalies played good in tonight's game. Tavares starts the whole play by, look at him, protects the puck, keeps it, 2-on-1.
Kicks it out.
Kicks it out over to Nylander. See ya, thanks for coming. Tippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine heading my way.
Wow, what a move.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day.
What a move.
If I did that many stick handling before shooting it, there'd be
You would have got a hat trick with one goal.
There have been pieces of the puck missing if I stick handle it that many times before shooting.
Thank you, Wendell, Kelly, everybody
Our friends
from McBride Homes.
Yep.
Signing out from the Winter World Studios, presented by Siteman Cancer Center. We'll see you next time.
Yes.